Welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, presented by Mountain Dew Baja Blast. On today's episode, this Dodgers pitcher could be traded. We'll tell you who that is and why it makes some sense. Also, reacting to the MLB All Star Game. Will the Dodgers regret trading away Miguel Vargas? We'll talk about Miggy Varg and Cody Bellinger. Also, our first half awards. We'll get into all that and a little update on Shohei Ohtani. That's coming up next on Dodgers Dugout Live. This Dodgers team is going to 3.
Nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball.
Los Angeles wins it 3-1.
The Dodgers are ruining baseball. Let's get 4 more wins and really ruin baseball.
Oh my goodness! Shohei Ohtani! Whoa! Bounces one up the middle, bits to the back, over to first to beat the champ. You gotta knock him out. The Dodgers stand tall and win back-to-back titles.
Big blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is Dodgers Dugout Live with your host, Doug McKain.
What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McKain. Friends call me DMAC. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you haven't yet, do us a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, drop a like, drop a comment. This is a live show, so drop those thoughts, comments, and questions about your boys in blue, and I will answer as many of them as I can during the show, but mostly later in the show during the 7th inning stretch where I get into the comments. Today's Dodgers Dugout Live poll question of the show. I'm going to have fun with this one. I asked you guys over on the X, if you could have one former Dodger back, who would you pick? And the options are Miguel Vargas, Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager, and Michael Busch. Right now, 39.4% say Miguel Vargas, 36.4% say Cody Bellinger, 21.2% say Corey Seager, and 3% say Michael Busch. I thought about including Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros on that list, but I just don't think that one counts. Let's just be honest. I never even saw him play. They really didn't play, so I didn't want to include that one because if you did, I think that would get a lot of the votes. But the other thing, though, if you couldn't really have him because he's a DH, right? So Shohei Ohtani is your DH, and I think you'd much rather have Shohei Ohtani on your team than a Yordan Alvarez. How many strikeouts, how many innings has Yordan pitched this season? That's right. Checks notes, 0. So not even thinking about that one. But let's get into it, guys. There's so much to get into in the world of Dodger baseball, so let's get right into it.
Leading off, the hottest story in Dodger baseball.
All right, so before we get into the All Star Game, the midseason awards, before we get into a little Tarik Skubal update, I definitely want to give you the latest on Shohei Ohtani because that is absolutely as important as it gets when it comes to the second half of the season. So the Dodgers do have an update on Shohei Ohtani as he continues to recover from knee inflammation. That's what kept him out of the All-Star Game yesterday. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts did speak about his current status heading into the second half of the season, and he said that, quote, I think that, number one, we've always said, the goal is October for all of our players. With that, yeah, he's had the Cy Young in mind, and understandably so, but nothing is going to come in front of being healthy for October. And so for him to concede and miss a start in the best interest of him and the team, that's not a surprise. Those are two separate things, but number one is being ready for October, and he's always said that. So the plan, of course, is that for Shohei Ohtani, you get him back, you get him ready, and you get him right. And hopefully he's not going to be hindered by this knee injury. He's going to be available for this season, for this series following the All-Star break at Yankee Stadium. And Dave Roberts said, quote, he's going to be in the lineup. And that's definitely a great thing, right? I mean, you definitely are going to have him in the lineup no matter what. So Shohei hitting .293 with 22 home runs and 58 RBIs. He's also gone 8-2 with a 1.79 ERA with 95 strikeouts and 85 2/3 innings and 14 starts. And he did skip the All-Star game. The last time we saw Ohtani on the mound was July 3rd when he went 6 innings against the Padres. And Dave Roberts said, we haven't decided that yet as far as when he's going to pitch next. So that is definitely a little bit of a mixed update, right? We don't have some definitive stuff with that. I did say this on this show that I thought that was what we learned. My biggest takeaway from Shohei Ohtani, I got, it's been a debate all year on this show, on my radio show, DMAC and right here on 97.1 The Fan, that I have definitely always felt that it's about the name on the front, not the name on the back. And that's how I feel about all these players, even Shohei Ohtani. And I always felt that Shohei was going to do the right thing and prioritize what's best for this team. And I said, hey, let's throttle back a little bit. Let's skip a start if we need to. And I think the biggest takeaway from him sitting out Friday in a start that he could have made, he really could have made that start if he wanted to. He threw 31 pitches in the Dodgers bullpen before the game. He got some work in, but if he could have gone, if he forced his way on the mound, I think he could have done that. But I think we learned on Friday what we already knew, and that is that Shohei, even with the individual accolades, even with all those great awards, as he continues to collect all the award infinity stones, that he's going to put the team first. And Friday told me he's going to put the team first because putting himself in his individual goals and accolades sometimes second, I think, puts the team first, because I think he only wants to win those awards when it's to the benefit of the team. And if he puts himself in harm's risk, in harm's way, that's not to the benefit of the team. Like I was saying, when it comes to Shohei Ohtani, if he's not 100% and it's the pitching that's leading to the discomfort and the inflammation in the left knee because that's his push-off leg, then he shouldn't be pitching. You cannot redline a Ferrari. If a Ferrari has a check engine light on, a Bugatti, a Lamborghini, you can't do that, right? To me, that is like having the winning lottery ticket and placing it right by your fireplace. If it goes in the fire, you don't get the money, you don't get to cash in. And in this case, I don't think you get to win the World Series. So that really is the only thing that I think prevents the Dodgers from winning the World Series this year. The main thing, of course, would be like Shohei Ohtani being injured. So I think this is a great sign. Let's not forget Shohei, his dad played in the industrial leagues, and he got a lot of training, professional training as a hitter. So his mechanics as a hitter are more of the professional sense when he was growing up and he was coming into his own, but he really taught himself to pitch. So he's always kind of mentioned this, that he's basically self-taught when it comes to a pitcher. So when the mechanics are off, it takes a little longer to fine-tune them and get them back in line when he's a pitcher versus when he's a hitter, because it's a little more of an unorthodox progression there. So I like that. Can Ohtani get out my left knee? I see you in the comments right there. Appreciate that. Did Yoshi pitch yesterday? No, he did not. But, yeah, so Shohei's going to be okay. He's going to be okay. Now, an update on Tarik. Wow. An update on Tarik Skubal from my friend. Do I get to call Jeff Passan my friend since he went on to my radio show? I'm going to do that. I've talked to Jeff Passan over the years. He is absolutely the greatest at what he does. Just by the way, like, to me, Passan runs laps around Shams Charania of the NBA. Like, he is the best insider in the game. I mean, Jeff Passan is the guy. He's fantastic, and his podcast is great too. But here was Jeff Passan, who was on ESPN a few days ago with a little update on the Tarik Skubal trade deadline situation, and he does mention your Los Angeles Dodgers.
If there is a team that's going to go get Tarik Skubal and has both the incentive and the ability to do so, it is the Los Angeles Dodgers. And I know people don't like hearing that. The Dodgers have won 2 consecutive championships. They already have a roster that's loaded with stars, but they can pretty much do whatever they want at this point. You know, we've seen past trade deadlines where the Dodgers have been extremely aggressive. They've gone and gotten Manny Machado. They've gotten Max Scherzer and Trey Turner. They've gotten the biggest guys. But this time around, they could play it like they did last year, where there were no major trades and they were still the best team in baseball.
So you hear Jeff Passan there, still feels like the Dodgers are a team that could trade for him. I think for me, the biggest takeaway, of course, you saw today that Lance McCullers going to the Milwaukee Brewers, a team that could, in theory, be a player for Tarik Skubal. I mean, there's a bunch of teams that have really good farm systems like the Milwaukee Brewers that could trade for Tarik Skubal and would benefit and have their World Series odds increase if they were to trade for a Tarik Skubal. And if you look at the top farm systems in baseball right now, of course, the Dodgers are up there, but the Milwaukee Brewers, they entered the season with the top farm system in baseball. So they're definitely up there. If you look at after the draft, some of the rankings for the top farm systems, the Brewers are 5, Twins are 4, Rays are 3, Mariners are 2, and of course the Los Angeles Dodgers are 1. Okay, the Dodgers have look at the prospects. You got DePaula, you got Sirota, Mike Sirota, tier one prospects. Zaire Hope, Emil Morales, the shortstop, Eduardo Quintero, Christian Zazueta. I love that name. Right-handed pitcher. Left-handed pitcher, Zach Root. They added Bo Lawrence, third baseman, Charles Davilan, outfielder, and then you got Chase Harlan. So, I mean, look, there's a lot of talent. You also got James Tibbs. You got River Ryan. You got Jackson Ferris. A lot of guys they could trade. And you look at a team like the Brewers, they could certainly be involved too. I think for me, the Shohei Ohtani injury, it makes me feel like you need Tarik Skubal more, because if Shohei's bothered by a knee in July, there's a higher chance that he'll be bothered by a knee injury in October, and he also has to hit for this lineup. And you go down the list. Yamamoto pitched a lot last year. Oral Hershiser told me on my radio show a couple of months ago that after he pitched at 88 and he pitched so many innings, he started to feel those innings take their toll from the 88 season later in 89. So at one point, does Yamamoto start to feel the pressure there? And then you look at Tyler Glasnow. What, Tyler Glasnow, you're going to bet on him being healthy? He was healthy last year, and he was great when he was out there. Really fantastic for the Dodgers when he was on the mound in the postseason. But his first year with the Dodgers, he didn't even pitch in the postseason because he got injured. I think Blake Snell, I feel good about. He did have the nanoneedle surgery, and he said that he doesn't feel as much pain in his shoulder. But there's question marks about all the Dodgers' 4 starting pitchers. All of them. All 4 of them have question marks. And Tarik Skubal, it's not a guarantee that he's going to be traded, because the Tigers, they're going to be in the mix potentially in their division. They've been one of the best teams in baseball since June 1st. They have an above 500 record against teams that are above 500, really one of the best in baseball when it comes to that category. And maybe they don't trade him, but it would be a massive mistake if they didn't, because he's not going to re-sign there, and they're probably not going to win the World Series. But it would be, I think, the best thing for the Dodgers outside of getting him is that he stays in Detroit, because 1, I don't think the Tigers are going to make it to the World Series, and 2, even if they did, I think the Dodgers would still have an advantage, a significant advantage, and be heavy favorites against a really a good but not elite Tigers team. So my only fear is that he goes to a team like the Brewers, the Braves, or teams like that you can face in the National League. And then there's also potential of a shorter series in the National League. So, I mean, I still firmly believe that it makes all the sense in the world for the Dodgers to go out there and get Tarik Skubal. And I'm not backing off now, so I'm sticking with it. All right, guys, when we come back, we're going to talk about Miguel Vargas, a player that a lot of people gave me crap about because I stuck with him and I was so loyal to Miggy Varg. DMAC is the unicorn of Dodger chat. What's up, Michael Boyer? Appreciate y'all. I'm gonna do a nice little cute comment section, so keep those fired up. We're going to talk to Miguel Vargas. We're going to talk to the All Star Game, and we got our mid-season awards we'll get into. But first, we got a message from our friends over at Mountain Dew.
There are home runs and then there are blasts. This year, when a home run is blasted over 420 feet, you can score a free Baja Blast. Some of my favorite recent home runs have been Shohei Ohtani's 427-foot home run versus the Rays, Miguel Rojas's pinch hit go-ahead homer versus the Rays, and Mookie Betts' 369-foot home run versus the White Sox. Fans can visit BajaBlastHomeRuns.com to sign up, add a Mountain Dew Baja Blast card to their mobile wallet, and redeem their free Baja Blast the day after a qualifying homer of 420 feet or more is hit anywhere nationwide. I'm always watching closely whenever the Dodgers hit a home run to see if it reaches 420 feet because I love cashing in on this deal. Follow Mountain Dew and Major League Baseball for live updates, exclusive content, and behind-the-scenes access. Here's to a season of blasts on the field and Baja Blast at the park. Enjoy Mountain Dew Baja Blast, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
And welcome back to Dodgers Dugout Live, presented by DodgersNation.com, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. Just a reminder that tonight, after my radio show, going right to LAX, I'm going to New York. Start spreading the news. DMAC's leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. Okay. That was terrible. But I will be at Fanatics Fest this Thursday in New York doing a live show, a Yankees-Dodgers series preview. I'll be joined by my man Joez from John Boy. So if you guys are in New York, come holler at your boy. We'll be representing Dodgers fans and all you guys out there. Appreciate you guys for always rocking with us. Also, my man Noel Sanchez is going to be out there. Believe the homie Ava Braun's going to be out there. Ava Brand's going to be out there. I think we got the whole crew out there. So it's going to be good times. All right, guys. So let's get into the action for the second half of the season. Dodgers, Yankees. That is going to be absolute must-see TV. I love interleague play for that reason. It is an opportunity to have those people match up, players, massive franchises. It is awesome. And what's up, Arcrin? What up, Rob? What up, BDR? That's my guy. BDR is my guy. But I do want to talk about the All Star Game. And last night we had Miguel Vargas hit a home run. Miguel Vargas is an absolute success story, and I think too a rare opportunity that of a win-win situation. And what I always used to say when he was at his lowest point, when he was the player that everyone thought was going to be a bust and this and that, I always said, if Miguel Vargas has 1 million fans, then I am one of them. If Miguel Vargas has 10 fans, I am one of them. If Miguel Vargas has only 1 fan, that is me. If Miguel Vargas has no fans, then that means I am no longer on earth. If the world is against Miguel Vargas, then I am against the world. That's what I say about Miguel Vargas. And the reason why I used to say that is because I believed in his talent. And he made the All-Star team. And he was a player that would have fit long-term for this team, of course. But sometimes you got to give up something to get something. Scared money don't make money. And Miguel Vargas was traded by the Dodgers to the White Sox on July 29, 2024, as a part of a 3-team deal that also included the St. Louis Cardinals. In the trade, the Dodgers acquired utility man Tommy Edman and pitcher Michael Kopech. The White Sox received Miguel Vargas with some minor league prospects, Jarrell Perez and Alexander Albertas. And that's a trade that the Dodgers would do over again because Tommy Edman won the NLCS MVP. He was pivotal to the Dodgers' success that year. Michael Kopech was absolutely pivotal to the Dodgers' success that year. He threw the fastest pitch by a Dodger since Jonathan Broxton. I mean, the dude was throwing straight heat, straight gas. He was a big part of that Dodgers bullpen that covered over 60% of the innings in the World Series and NLCS and DS. I mean, that they won with on the backs of that bullpen. So he was big time with it. But this just goes to show, if I'm a team out there, and let's just kind of remake this about the Dodgers. If I'm a team out there, I absolutely want to make a trade with the Dodgers because not only do you get top level talent and it doesn't always work out, but I mean, look, Gavin Lux, for example, has been a bust since he was traded for Mike Sirota, right? But Michael Busch has been good, and Miguel Vargas has turned into an all-star. So if I'm the Detroit Tigers, I'm saying, hey, Mike Sirota could be an all-star for us, right? Or a player like that, a Zaire Hope, or whoever it may be. Jose DePaul, I think, would not be traded for a Skubal, right? But the Dodgers, they develop talent very well. So by the time they get to another organization, you guys have already been through basically the Harvard of baseball universities, right? It's like when you get a Dodgers prospect, it is like you are getting a Harvard grad or something heading into your profession, right? Things like that. You are getting someone that has had the best coaching on the planet. So I think that's Miguel Vargas playing well is good for the Dodgers, is my point. Miguel Vargas having success helps the Dodgers because when teams trade with the Dodgers, they know they're getting a good player in return. So here is Miguel Vargas after the game. So to give Miggy Vargas some love. And a little funny moment, too, with him and Yamamoto and Murakami. We'll get into that next. But here's Miguel Vargas after the game.
Thanks, Joe. Miguel, this was a night dominated by pitching, but you hit 2 balls 104 miles an hour and harder. One caught by your buddy, Andy Pajas at center field. The other, a home run off your former minor league teammate, Justin Robleski. Tell me what it felt like running around the bases after that home run.
I don't have a word for describe that moment, man. Kind of feel like when I made my debut kind of moment, it's an unbelievable experience. I have no word for describe, but, I'm glad to be here and, being around all these superstars and, spend the time today here.
Miguel, you're one of 36 first-time All-Stars at this game. What has this entire experience been like for you?
Great, man, great. This couple of years ago, I was watching all these superstars being an All-Star, and now, for me being here in the same clubhouse and learning from them is, it's a lot. So I'm just trying to absorb everything today and, enjoy it the most I can.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My guy, Miguel Vargas, once a Dodger, always a Dodger. Love seeing that. How about this moment, too, where Munetaka Murakami, who I hope becomes a Dodger one day, is kind of having a little moment with Miguel Vargas and Yoshinobu Yamamoto that are trying to get him to take off his hat and bow a little bit. This is good stuff. Yamamoto, a little... Yeah, Bal, come on. Oh, they take off Miggy's hat. That's so awesome, dude. I love that dude. All right, so let's get into I'm going to do a real quick first half stuff. Rookie of the year so far for the Dodgers, I got to go with Dalton Rushing. Dalton Rushing has absolutely responded well since the moment with Shohei Ohtani, and before that, but a 123 OPS plus, hitting 10 home runs so far this season. Last year, yeah, I mean, I got to go with, if I'm going to pick a young Dodger, he's my young Dodger of the first half. I mean, that's the guy. Then biggest disappointment is you got to go Kyle Tucker. He's performed a lot better of late, but he's been basically just a league average hitter so far. And I think the concerning thing about Kyle Tucker, too, is he was supposed to raise the floor of the defense for the Dodgers, and he's been a -5 outs above average defender in the 7th percentile. So the defense has not been good for Kyle Tucker to start this season, and the offense has been just slightly above league average for a guy that, even if you look at, yes, it's a shorter-term deal. That's why he has a $60 million per year AAV, with the deferrals around $57 million, but still that's a lot of money, even if you consider the $240 million per year that he'd be getting if he stayed here all 4 years. I mean, he has underperformed. There's no way to sugarcoat it. There is not. So that's kind of where that's at. He's the biggest disappointment of the first half. Then the breakout star, I've got to go with Justin Robleski. It was great to see Justin Robleski strike out the side. Robo doing his thing yesterday. He was Robleski'd of being an all-star in the first place, but still was able to get in. And Justin Robleski, a 2.69 ERA. He has the second most innings pitched for the Dodgers this season. Robo has gone this year 103rd innings, so that's right behind Yamamoto. I think he's this year's Clayton Kershaw, even a couple years ago, Gavin Stone, guys like that. So I think that's kind of where that's at. It's got to be him. Biggest surprise, I think I'm going to go Edgardo Henriquez. Edgardo Henriquez has really been a breakout bullpen piece for the Dodgers. All the advanced stuff for Edgardo says that he's elite when it comes to limiting hard contact and missing barrels, and also just the overall results too. A 2.29 ERA. He's turning into a demon, man, an absolute beast. I love Edgardo Henriquez. I would say he's right at the top as far as my trust tree right now. I think he's that good. Starting rotation, Cy Young, I got to go Shohei Ohtani, a 1.79 ERA. I do think that Yamamoto is a dark horse candidate in the second half of the season to win the Cy Young if he goes on a tear. I think it's possible. If you look at Yamamoto's ERA, a 2.85 ERA, you can get that way lower. 17 starts, 110 and 2/3 innings, 2.7 WAR. So I still love me seeing Yamamoto. The bullpen Cy Young, I go Tanner Scott. I mean, Tanner Scott has had a bounce back season. I think for Scott too, stepping up when Edwin Diaz went out was big. A 2.56 ERA, only 2 blown saves this year, has 13 saves. Last year, he led Major League Baseball in blown saves with 10. So a huge bounce back year for Tanner Scott. He has been Tanner hot most of the season. And the Gold Glove, I got to go Mookie Betts. For the team Gold Glove, Mookie Betts has really grown and you cannot doubt this dude, bro. A 6 outs above average, the 92nd percentile. He's been an elite defensive shortstop, literally. And Andy Paz is a close second. He's right up there. But, hey, shortstop is a more premium position than a center fielder. So I got to go Marcus Lynn Betts in that one. Team MVP, the only right answer is Shohei Ohtani. Dude is he's going to be the MVP, most valuable player ever, barring injury. And then the overall grade for the Dodgers, I'll give them an A-. I still don't think they played their best baseball. They're at the top in a lot of different categories. But as far as their overall grade of A-, they're a game and a half up on the Brewers for the best record in baseball at 61-36. Right now, the Dodgers are a team that is going to win over 100 games. At least that's what they're on pace for. To be exact, they're on pace to win 102 games, and you got a nice division lead, 11.5 game lead in the division, but they've missed guys. Glasnow, Snell out. Yeah, Mookie's been out. Their offense, Kyle Tucker has had a down season. You missed Will Smith for a good portion of the year, Teoscar Hernandez. So this is a team that still has not played their best baseball, and Edwin Diaz out, but I still think that they deserve an A-. So give me your grade for the first half of the season for your Los Angeles Dodgers. I want to see that next. On the 7th inning stretch. We'll answer all your thoughts, comments, and questions about your boys in blue.
The 7th inning stretch.
Okay, who do we got here? Let's get it poppin'. I like Alex Call because he resembles Ed Harris when he was young. Wow, that's pretty interesting. Apollo 13, Ed Harris. Dusty Willis, I'd rather see Robo stay with the Dodgers and continue to develop than trade for Skubal. Yeah, I mean, if you can keep Robleski, that's definitely... I like Robleski because he's versatile, right? He's basically turned into a 2-pitch starting pitcher that's trying to incorporate a sweeper and some other pitches, but Yeah, would the Dodgers trade Robo for Skubal? I think they would. I mean, let's be honest. Skubal really is the kill shot, man. And if Andrew Friedman thinks that Skubal is the difference between a third straight World Series and maybe not, I think that that's there could be a sell high on Robleski too. I mean, Robleski's really good. Don't get me wrong, and I really love the guy, but you also kind of look, and I prefer to keep him. But Robleski, if you look at the expected ERA is at 4.12, and the real ERA is 2.69. So that points to at some point maybe he gets roughed up and you see some of those numbers even out. But hey, the results are the results, man, and that's all you can kind of look at in the grand scheme of things. So you got to give him all the credit in the world for being able to put up the numbers that he's put up. Good morning. What's up, Sheriff? We got Clayton. DMAC. Should the Dodgers during this break have Eric Karros give a lecture to the whole team on the best way to use their ABS challenges? That's not a bad. It's not a bad thought right there. Robleski. Eric Karros was getting in on Alex Call for burning those 2 challenges early in the game before the break. But Snafu gives the Dodgers a B+. Eric Karros. Speaking of Eric Karros, gives the Dodgers a solid A. Sheriff says, I give this team first half a B. This team hasn't peaked yet, and it'll be interesting to see them when their regulars come back. A+ from Alex. A for sure. Can you imagine if this team was 100% healthy and playing to their potential? From Dusty Wilson. Michael Boyer, who's the best catcher available that the Dodgers could go after? They're not going to go after a catcher. I don't think so. It's very difficult for catchers to adjust to a new rotation, new pitchers after the season started. And I think, too, on top of that, they like Dalton rushing, and you still got Alfonso, and Will Smith hopefully comes back soonish. Skubal is just a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. Obviously, you sell high on Robo if you can. DMAC, New York food, what are you excited for? Darth David, man, got to get some of that pizza, baby. Trade Hope and Sheehan for Skubal. Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. I always give DMAC A+. Thanks, Art Carino. You're the best. Dodger Blue gives the Dodgers a C. Wow. Former Dodger Cody Bellinger got a ribby yesterday. Yeah, I mean, look, that was cool to see Cody Bellinger. And it's cool to see Cody Bellinger have success, man. Always love me some Cody Bellinger, man. Like, he is beloved by his teammates, current and former. He's a guy that always really has just been embraced by Dodgers fans, and for good reason. I mean, he's just a good dude, man. Cody Bellinger, and he's just funny too. Like, we would not have that 2020 World Series without Cody Bellinger. Those defensive plays that he made and just robbing Tatis Jr. In the DS was such a great catch. He had a rob job in the World Series. I mean, Cody Bellinger's a super cool guy, and we always thought he was going to be a Yankee because his dad played there. And sure enough, he ended up with the Yankees. So, yeah. Cody Bellinger's he's the man, dude. By the way, over his career, Cody Bellinger has won the Rookie of the Year, which he did with the Dodgers in 2017, won the NLCS MVP, which he did in 2018, won the MVP in 2019, won a World Series in 2020, and won the All Star Game MVP in 2026. No one else in MLB history has done all 5. So, shout out to Cody Bellinger. Vlog yourself getting one of those massive pastrami Sandy's DMAC. Okay, I'll do that, Snafu. You guys want to see some more food vlogs from me? We beat AA Ron Judge before. We can do it again this coming Friday. Absolutely. You think this is Teoscar's last year with the Dodgers? It's a good question because they do have a lot of... Well, let's see if they three-peat. If they do, they might want to look to reset a little bit just to stay young. But I don't think so. I think he plays out the contract. I don't think they're going to trade him. And if they did, I mean, unless that he would kind of want to be pushed down. He's been better in left than he was in right last year. And he still has a pretty good club option for 2028. So I don't think that necessarily is going to be the last year for Teoscar Hernandez. Sheriff, is there any chance of the Dodgers trading Josue DePaula in a package for Skubal? What about going to some under-the-radar guys like Braxton Ashcraft? See, that's the thing. I don't think that they would need a massive upgrade. Like, that's why it's go big or go home, because the Dodgers already have a great roster. And they would probably feel at that point that they could just get Snell and Glasnow back and rely on Shohei and Yamamoto. So I think it's really Skubal or bust when it comes to adding a starting pitcher. I really do, because I just don't think the other guys move the needle enough to have to overpay and include top prospects to go out and get them. The Dodgers, they shop on Rodeo Drive, man. Like, they only go to the top stuff. So, I mean, I think, could they trade DePaula? I think they would want to keep him, and I think they have the prospects to keep him. So, yeah. All right, guys. So, we're running out of time. So, let's get to the walk-off.
The walk-off.
Hits the ball to right field. She is gone!
All right, today for the walk-off, I just want to give a shout-out to Philly fan. Philly fan booing the Dodgers, booing Yamamoto, booing Max Muncy, booing everyone that had the Dodgers logo on it. Hey, Philly fan, I'm so glad that the Dodgers beat you last season in 4 games. I'm so glad that you choked away that game 4 and that the Dodgers didn't have to go back to Philly and beat your arse in your house. But Philly fan, you're just an embarrassment, dude. Boo. Is that the only word you know in your limited vocabulary? Like, I'm not against booing, but when Philly fans do it, it just comes off as lame, makes them look dumb, makes them look like they don't respect the game. And guess what? Look, you want to boo Dodgers fans, you want to boo Dodgers players, then just fine. But I hope the Dodgers face the Phillies again this year in the postseason, and they'll give them a reason to boo. But really, Phillies fans, you should be booing your own team. Boo the Phillies because they couldn't beat the Dodgers. Don't boo the Dodgers. The Dodgers, you can just cry. The Dodgers should make you cry, not make you boo, right? Because they're the reason why your team hasn't won a World Series, and you're basically going to go 0 World Series with Bryce Harper in this roster. So guess what, Philly fan? You can, instead of boo, you can cry. And I'm glad that the Dodgers beat you, and I hope they beat you again. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dodgers Dugout Live. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Also, catch me later on 97 The Fan. DMAC and my man Bill Ryder from 2 to 6. Call in the show. Give us your Dodgers takes, man. We want to give you all that. Ryan Ward's going to be joining us later, too. It should be a lot of fun. Also, Greg Vanney, the coach of the LA Galaxy, is going to be in studio. So come join us over there. Then I'm hopping on a plane, going to New York, hanging out with John Boy a little bit. And we'll see you guys in a little bit. And thanks again, guys. Appreciate you. Love all you guys. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you have not yet, do us a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Drop a like, drop a comment, and until next time, remember that nothing, absolutely nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.